Hi, my name is Riley, and these are my buildings. This is the Mackinac Bridge. I originally built for the first Brickworld in Michigan last year. It's just a good bridge, and we decided, because the sand green was in the Lego store, to grab a bunch of that and build it. So that's where this idea was, sort of originated from.
That sand green is perfect there. When you look at kind of the photos of the real bridge, it captures the nice look there of the supporting structure.
Yeah, it really does. It was a little bit of a trouble finding enough 1x2 dark gray plates to cover 8 feet of road, but most of all finding 11,000 pieces for the water. That was the hardest piece I think I've ever had to find.
Where did you end up sourcing those from?
It was like 2 or 3 different orders from Bricklink and Brick Owl.
Okay.
So after that, I decided, I don't know why I'm saying we, that the cars would look really nice. That was an idea I really wanted the whole time. So once I built, the barricading wall from like the edge, I was playing around with the scale a little bit, found, these pieces, I don't know what they're called. So if I put a stud there, it kind of looks like a tire. So I just connected 4 of those to a 2x2 plate, and then a 2x4 plate, and then put the design of whatever I wanted the car to look like on top of that. So
that's a great micro car building technique there.
Yeah, and it fits the scale perfectly. Everything else I tried was just way too small or way too enormous for the bridge. So that's pretty much this one. Besides, the cables, I was having so much trouble finding the right way to do this. I tried just, stacking bricks like into a curved pattern. And I was playing around with it like the night before we had to go. And the bridge was still up, so I could play around with the scale still. And I decided, okay, so if I stack these 1x2 sand green plates in the staggered pattern, then I can, get an arch effect with it. So it ended up working out pretty nicely, and I think it looks pretty well.
Yeah, it has that perfect cable bridge effect there. Very nice. So then we move down, and you've got 3 big, impressive buildings here.
Yeah, 2 of them are taller than me, which is kind of sad to think about, but this is the CN Tower. This one took me about a month and a half, maybe. I spent a good amount of time figuring out how to do the pod, which was very, very difficult to get that this donut sort of shape and not have it sag. The first 2 or 3 times I did it, I built it. There were hinges on the inside, and it was just, the plates were just sagging down. I didn't like the way it looked, and it wasn't stable at all. So I took it into the Lego store, and I had some help with some guys in there, and they helped me sort of just improve the technique I was working with. So I just built that up, and then something I'm really proud of up here is I have flex tube connected to clips that have clips on either side of 2x8 plates, and that makes it so that it's slanting and curving at the same time without it looking too sectioned off.
Yeah, that's a great technique to get kind of the rounded look there.
Yeah, definitely. This one I started working on, and I finished basically the base, and then I started working on the other 2, and then I came back to it, and then I kept on switching off and back and forth. And so eventually I just said, okay, I should just try and finish this. So I ordered the rest of the pieces to finish the windows, finished it up, and spent another 2 weeks trying to figure out the second pod, just trying to work with the scale and make it so that it didn't look too big for this or the other spire parts. So I eventually got it to where I wanted it, and it looks pretty well.
Yeah, and you said this tower is taller than you are.
It's 6'3".
Wow. Yeah, very impressive.
Yeah, thanks. This is the Golden Finance Center. It's the actual building is not done. I think it's scheduled to be finished later this year and in 2019 or something. But I have a lot of work to do with it still. I finished it at home and I thought it looked nice and I brought it here, and then a bunch of problems started occurring that I never even noticed. Like the corners kept on, bending out, and it was because of the pressure down here at the bottom. So I have a lot of work to do.
But you're always improving, that's how you figure out, what needs fixed when you bring it to a show and you figure out what you can do better.
Yep. Probably my favorite part about this one is how I did the top with the, I used just regular windshields and stacked them upside down and put tile on the bottom so it could just plop right on there, and I put lights up there so that it can shine, but they're not on right now. So.
All the stacked trans clear pieces at the top there look nice.
They do, yeah. This is the Transamerica Pyramid. This one, I think I built it like 2 or 3 times. This is the 3rd time I built it, I think. The first time I built it to where I would have one layer and then I'd set it in one stud every single time. And sure, it looked great, but it was about this tall. Mm-hmm. And it looked like, it looked more of like just like a plain old pyramid than like something that's meant to be a building. So what I did was I ordered like 860 2x2 jumper plates in white, and I just started putting them on there and stacking each layer one stud in so that it could have that little half step all the way up. And then it just turned out like this.
Yeah, they're beautiful builds. So what kind of inspired you to start building these bigger skyscrapers then?
I always have been a fan of skyscrapers. Once I got into Frank Lloyd Wrights, like last year when I did the 4 Frank Lloyd Wrights, I started getting into those, and I kind of put the skyscrapers behind me for a while. So that was another reason why I wanted to do these, because I thought it would be cool to, kind of get back into the skyscrapers. Probably one of the harder things that I've had to design or try and come up with are these. I borrowed a technique from Adam Tucker on these, where I have the hinge and it kind of just rests in there because of friction, because of the cheese slope, and the hinges just rest in there. So
kind of locks it in place.
Yep. So I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for showing us these 4 buildings. Thanks for bringing these big builds out to Brickworld. Obviously, it's not always easy to bring these around with you. So they're really impressive, and I can't wait to see what you bring next year. Thanks so much for chatting with me.
Thanks for interviewing me.